Happy Friday, Mountain Movers. The first daily motivation this week was focused around culture. It was talking about your most important job as a leader is to drive the culture in a positive direction. And no matter where you're at in the organization and whether you focus on culture or not, culture exists. And you have the ability to impact the culture no matter where you're sitting in the organization. And if you're up there, you have all the more duty and responsibility to drive the culture because it's there whether you like it or not. And a great culture stands for something bigger than themselves. It unifies people. It shows them that they're valued. It shows them that they're fighting for something bigger than that profit margin or the success of an individual project. And you have that opportunity every single day to positively pour into that culture. So take a step in the right direction with your culture each and every day. The last 2 weeks on the 1720 podcast, we've been focused in on burnout and exhaustion and trying to figure out some steps and some strategies that you can take with you to try and help those matters. And the 3 factors were purpose, mindset, and routine. And with purpose, when you're putting in all that effort, is it aimed somewhere or is it aimless? Because when I know my efforts aimed towards a purpose, it offsets that burnout and exhaustion because I know what we're fighting for. Kind of tied to the culture earlier, it's built into a purpose bigger than ourselves. And sometimes it's a mindset-driven thing. If I keep saying in my head, I'm burnt out, I'm burnt out, I'm burnt out, guess what? I am. If I say I still have some gas in the tank, I still have some gas in the tank, or I just need to flip this negative mindset to more of a positive one, when I do that habit consistently, I build these new habits and new frameworks, and all of a sudden I'm not as exhausted as I used to be. And then if those things don't work, sometimes it's looking at the routines of my life. What needs to be added? What needs to be removed? What steps need to be taken? What processes need to become more automated to force multiply my time, not to add to my capacity, but work into my capacity? So is it purpose for you? Is it mindset for you? Is it routine? What helps with your journey? And this week I hit you with a lot of lists. We had a couple lists from a book and Ryan Holiday. And one thing that really stood out to me was, what habit bonfires are you fueling right now? And so what are those bad habits that are bonfires in your life that aren't serving you well? A lot of people check out in December and say, I'll save that for the new year. We'll save that for a resolution. I got that as a habit or a goal listed for next year. Start working on it now. If it's something to do with diet, exercise, phone times, prioritizing family, whatever the case may be, you don't have to wait for January to make that radical transformation. Start working towards that goal now. What steps can you take so then in 2024, it's not this radical shift. You've been working at it a little bit here and there. And as always, don't put your family, your personal life, or your spiritual health on the shelf as you're fighting for these things, especially in the holidays. Make those a priority so you don't get burnout, so you don't get exhausted and pay for it later. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week, Mountain Movers.